blonde-haired, blue-eyed Julie Glassman has to say at the Mary Sue, as she uses her pox walks istophobic shield to defend a horrible show. So click the links to join the channel here over on Subscribestar. Velma's Scooby Doo. First of all, if you're not familiar with Scooby Doo, this is a remake of it. It is a show, was on TV animation. That was, I went back and I watched it. A very well done show for a kids show for what it is. And then it went on with movie specials, animations, like TV specials, and then it, back in the day, it would go like straight to VHS and then DVD and that kind of stuff. A really hugely popular IP series that has stood the test of time and has a fan base behind it. And if you go look up all the movies they made a bunch of these, like made for TV type of movies and then DVD movies, like just massively popular entertainment. And then they did some live action movies. The biggest one was about 20 years ago with Sarah Michelle Gellar. They go to Spooky Island. It's just a great cast. They did a fine job with making a kids movie into a 90-minute movie that worked out well. And they did a bunch of I'm trying to say, it's like it has a huge fan base behind it. And these people come along and they decide to just F it in the A and C on your face and expect you to like, oh, this is fine. This is fine. Like, no, it's not fine. Stop telling me it's fine and I can't criticize it just because you swapped out the characters. I want to see the original characters. So Velma's Scooby Doo. Oh, and the Mary Sue is Mary Sue, as far as I know, I think it might be a money laundering organization or a tax evasion, tax dodge. Something weird is going on with the Mary Sue because there's no way it gets enough traffic to support itself. Something is not adding up with that. So they say, or Julie Glassman says, you're istophobic if you criticize it. It's like, okay, fine. First of all, everyone says the show sucks, but for different reasons. But our reasons are not valid because we're the Chads, I guess, in Hugo Boss or something, and we don't have valid criticisms of shows. But their reasons are valid. It's perfectly fine to say the show sucks just based on the race swapping alone. I don't find that acceptable. I want to see, well, one, I want to see the original characters, but two, I also value the portrayal of the ultra rare minority of blonde and the red-haired tribes of Europa. Blonde and red-haired people are the marginalized and oppressed minorities. I want to see them positively portrayed. I value my own tribe above all others, just like Mindy values her tribe. The difference is I don't hate other people, but Mindy very much hates people of European descent, like openly, nakedly, incandescently, genocidal rage. She hates them. She replaced an ultra-rare European minority with Indians and Africans who outnumber these blonde and red-haired people 1,000 to 1. That is the definition of racism. It's also okay to say the show is bad if it portrays Europeans in a negative light, which is what the show does, and it only portrays them in a negative light. Mindy ignores the Indian or black characters that are in the show. You can make fun of them also, if you wish. It's weird that, no, you're only making fun of the Fred character, blonde-haired, who's so incompetent he can't cut up dinner, and just vaguely anyone of European descent is okay to make fun of. Glassman at the Mary Sue, she's the, I don't know what you call these women, like it's the meme of the pox walks is trying to say something, and then the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Glassman goes over and like the woke scolds. These are the teachers the libs of TikTok teachers are making fun of. Like no, you're marginalized as oppressed. Let me speak for you. It's like and you can't criticize this person, but I'll be their mouthpiece. Just like what's that book where the guy goes to the island and he's got like flapping mouthpieces. Treasure Island. Anyway, so Glassman with the Mary Sue seems to think that you can't criticize Jabberwockies. You can't criticize a stupid TV show if it comes from Mindy Kaling, because Mindy has a Pox Walks shield. Why exactly would that provide her shields from criticism? The Mary Sue, in their defense, is saying that, oh, well, Scooby-Doo wasn't actually that good a show in the first place, except that it was. People remember it fondly. I put on a few episodes in the background. It's on Odyssey. The show was great. For what it is, it's like a 25-minute kids show. It's just cute, fun, positive. it has that positive vibes of like 70s hippy dippy vibes where it's an unlikely friendship and they are friends and they all come together. It's a really sweet show, and that's something that these hate filled Mindy Kaling types, these Glassman types, like they don't understand. They just don't understand that. They don't understand positive vibes at all. And it's like the 60s and 70s, man. Those are not just 50 years ago. Those are more like 1,000 years ago. So the show was great. The Velma remake is just Mindy's jealousy of beautiful blonde people. It is pathetic and hatred. You can watch the first two episodes. They're online. And I guess there's another episode coming out every Thursday. It's gonna be just as horrible. I mean, if you see the first two episodes, I don't think you need to see anything more. So Scooby Doo was about friends. SJWs literally don't have friends because they sell each other out all the time to virtue signal about some cultural Marxist nonsense. I don't mean that as an exaggeration. SJWs really don't understand loyalty and friendship. They're loyal to the party, not to friends. And from what I'm seeing from libs of TikTok and what kids are learning today from these blue-haired, Saul Alinsky, Frankfurt School Marxist weirdos, the future generations are going to be even weirder. I mean, the only solution to all of that is homeschooling or small-based neighborhood schools. Like really, literally set up your own neighborhood homeschools. It's just as easy to teach 10 kids as it is to teach your own few kids. It's like that's how critically important. But I don't know how to be a teacher. There's a first time for everything. It's like all you have to do is be ahead of the kids and you can teach them a little basic history and algebra. It's like if you see what's going on in the schools, you realize, oh, we just have to pay someone in the neighborhood to be a teacher and we'll all like go over the curriculum together. Like that's how critically important it is. Like it really is at that point. And then, the funny thing is you bring up homeschooling on Twitter and these SJWs lose, who was it? Weingarten at the teachers union teamed up with Garland. They're terrified of homeschools and people not getting the globalist Marxist propaganda brainwashing from the government matrix. Anyway, so the Mary Sue seems to think that you can't but the funny thing is on Twitter there's the homeschool kids are so weird, and people come back with like, no, objectively it's a better education. Like by every metric it's a better education. It's like you won't be on board with what the other kids are learning. It's like, yeah, that's a good thing. They'll be better adjusted by being family-based and tribal-based. Anyway, so the Mary Sue seems to think that you can't criticize non-European people, but that doesn't make sense. If you can't criticize something, then they can do bad things and they'll never know how you feel about it. It's kind of that open marketplace of ideas concept where you're not ad hominem, you're not attacking the man, you're attacking the argument, the central, probative relevant core of the argument, not the person. Mindy Kaling doesn't need special protections. That's all just cultural Marxist nonsense. But of course, the Mary Sue is globalist propaganda. All they do is spread misinterest, anti-white racism, and hatred, and disinformation and misinformation. I absolutely love to hate the Mary Sue. It's all first world whining from the busybodies and woke scolds who are just like peering through windows and they want to tell you what to do. Glassman seems to think that Mindy is not a person of the light. That is why people hate the show. Before we get to that, if Glassman's argument is that you can't criticize the non-fair people, then there is no point in watching their shows in the first place. It's not a dialogue, it's a monologue. It's like, why would we want to be lectured to by the worst people on earth, anyone coming from Hollywood? Is that the argument you seem to be making? So it's safer to just not watch these non-white shows? I mean, fine, challenge accepted, no problem for me. Non-white people don't get special protections. Why on earth would Glassman think that they deserve them or they needed them? Is it possible that we don't like Mindy because she's misinterest and anti-white? The Scooby-Doo characters are not in this show. The original characters were blonde and blue-haired. It's one of them. Blonde and blonde and red-haired Europeans plus the Great Dane dog. But even besides that little bit of cancer, the original show was about friendship. This new show is just a hate-filled screed about how much Mindy hates the beautiful people of tribe Europa. I guess because Mindy is jealous of the people of the light, you watch the first two episodes and then you like keep an image of Mindy in your mind as you watch the episode and as she's going after the blonde people or people of European descent nonstop, and just keep looking back at Mindy and then looking back at the cartoon. You're like, oh, this is pretty well sour grapes. I mean, this is just really, really obvious. In fact, her picture should just be in the bottom corner of the screen the whole time. And even the comment section of the 62 comments are saying like, Mindy's time has come and passed. She's just become like way, way too bitter. And even they're saying like the vibe, the dogma of the Velma show is off. It's like 10 years too late. For some reason, it's not landing with the left or the right. And they go, oh, there's other articles going like, you guys are review bombing the show. Except the reviewers at Rotten Tomatoes gave it 50%, which for Rotten Tomatoes is a very bad score, and IMDb I think gives it low scores too. The audience score is very low; it's like less than 10%. But both scores across the board are low. It's like, yeah, the audience is going to be a little different than the reviewers, but so are the reviewers also review bombing it? And they go, oh no, it actually does deserve low scores. But the reason it is getting review bombed, but it does deserve low scores. Like, this doesn't make sense. You're saying anytime something gets a low score, it's being review bombed. So it's like, is there anywhere in your logic where a show can just be bad? It's like, yeah, as long as it's not an SGW show. It's like, to them, shows are just propaganda. Like, there are no shows. Like the original Scooby Doo doesn't make sense to them because this friend unit, this friend group, and they're mystery incorporated. They're driving around the van solving mysteries, and like they're just friends together solving mysteries, and that's it. There's nothing deeper behind it. It's just a simple 25-minute kids show, and then they went on to make movies and stuff that were fun. But it was, golly, Mr. Jenkins was behind the plot the whole time, and if it wasn't for these kids, it's like it was just a fun little show. SJWs don't understand. They view that as a waste of time because it's not a vector to push Marxist critical theory from the Frankfurt School and Saul Alinsky's How to Destroy Society. That is all these filthy globalists do. Everything has to be a vehicle to carry this subversion and corruption to destroy and decay, tear down society. So like original fun shows, they look at it and they go like, where's the message? Where's the anti-whiteism in here? Where's the anti-nationism? Where's the pro-globalism Frankfurt School message? It's like, oh, it's not in here. It's a fun show. It's like, that's what I say. There's no solution within the system with these people. It's like it's way beyond time to separate from these people and let them have their own kind of areas. They can run them. They can run the paradise. They can run the paradise as they see fit. Be as careful as possible here. Anyway, thanks for all the support on the YouTube channel. I got 2,000 hours, which is of this month, which is I guess good for this channel. Thanks for everyone who subbed and comments, even if they're not always complimentary. That's fine. It's it's fine. It's fine. Like we don't have to argue about every little thing. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys all next episode.